In this video, I'm going to show you my top 5 gaming keyboards you should be using for FPS. I already made a video with the top mice, so if you didn't see that, go check it out after this video. All keyboards are linked in the description if you want to look at it a bit closer. If there are any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and then I'd say we start into the video. So the first keyboard on this list is the Corsair K100 RGB. This optical mechanical gaming keyboard combines stunning aluminum design, per key RGB lighting with powerful Corsair X and hyper processing technology and Corsair OPX RGB key switches. Price wise, you are looking at $230, which is probably going to be a problem for many. The K100 RGB is the follow-up of the K95 Platinum, which released in 2017. The K100 builds on some basic elements of the K95, but of course there are changes in the features and the look as well. For example, the 44 zone LED strip, which they call light edge, wasn't there on the K95. Instead, there was a LED stripe on the top above the keys. One of the biggest changes is the new dial on the top left. This can have few different uses depending on what you want to configure it as. You can use it to record macros or change RGB brightness. For the left, you have 6 dedicated macros key, which you can combine with the dial for some nice functions. Additional to the keyboard, Corsair sends you a magnetic wrist rester, which is pretty good because without this keyboard definitely wouldn't be as comfortable. The main highlight of the K100 is the 4000 Hz polling rate, which makes it the fastest keyboard on the market, as well as the 150 million lifespan keystrokes. All keystrokes except the gaming keycaps are double shot PBT, which is quite expected on such a premium and expensive keyboard. Below the keycaps they have new optical key switches called the OPX, which offer hyper fast input with just 1mm. And here a small sound test of the keyboard. All in all, maybe a bit pricey, but completely worth it. On place number 4, we have the HyperX Alloy Origins Core. To start off with the price of the keyboard, it's about $110. Size-wise, this keyboard is between a 60% and full-size keyboard, which is kind of my favorite size, because like this you get the arrow keys and some nice work keys, but you don't have to have a humongous keyboard on your desk. For the $110 you pay for this, you get aluminum backplate board. In this board there are 3 adjustable height options. The first is flat, the second is a medium adjustment, and the third is a large adjustment, depending on how you like to play your games. The switches for this keyboard are HyperX red switches with a lifetime of 80 million presses. A bit special on the Alloy Origins Core is the gamer button on the top. If you enable the gaming mode, all game disturbing key combinations or buttons get disabled. For example, the Windows button or Alt tab, just that stuff that may interrupt you while playing. For the RGB, HyperX provides a software to fully customize the lights on your keyboard. And here a little sound test to the end. On the third place, I have the steel Sirius Apex Pro TKL for you guys. So the first thing I want to talk about are the switches, about those omni-point anti-lock adjustable switches. These are one of the best feeling keyboard switches on the market, but what makes them so crazy good are the actuation time and the response time. They're so much quicker than most of the switches out there. And to make sure that the keyboard registers the input like you want, you can even customize it to make sure it fits your playstyle. You can change the switch's input between 0.4mm up to 3.4mm. These adjustments can make an enormous difference while playing FPS. The construction of this keyboard is like many others, just better. It's made out of a Sirius 5000 aircraft aluminum frame, and it has a detachable magnetic soft wrist rester. And on the top right of this keyboard there is a customizable LED screen. Within the SteelSeries software you can put your logo up there or just use a normal screensaver which is there from the beginning. And with that all LED screen you can control a lot of features as well, like changing your RGB brightness or RGB modes. For FPS, just one of the best keyboards there are. To finish it up, a small sound test. Coming in at number 2, the Razer Black Widow V3 Pro. This is a wireless keyboard, so I want to talk about the connectivity. On the left side, there is a switch to switch between either 2.4 GHz or Bluetooth with the dongle that comes with it. So this keyboard has 3 modes of connectivity, which means you can connect it to literally anything. The battery lifetime is about 200 hours, and I feel like this is more than enough. Coming to the switches, there are 2 different switches, the green ones and the red ones, even though usually on Razer keyboards there is an orange switch as well. Those aren't optical switches because of the battery lifetime. Optical switches have laser beams, and of course these need electricity. Now imagine small laser beams on every key. Yes, that would use way more power, which means less time to play without charging. The switches come in transparent houses, which makes a huge difference with the RGB and just the complete look of the keyboard. Coming to the end of number 2, here's a small sound test. Number 1 for today, the Logitech G915 TKL. Like number 2, this is a wireless gaming keyboard. It's an insane slim and sharp design which I love. They used an aluminum board to make it fantastic minimal, and we have 2 adjustable feet on the backside to fit it to your playstyle. Then talking about the battery. With full RGB on 100%, you can get about 40 hours of playtime, which is not the best, but it's okay and enough. And yes, you can play and charge at the same time. Now when you look at the top of the keyboard, you can see there are a lot of buttons with basic features like Bluetooth mode, game mode, RGB, and it gives you your battery indicator as well. Then top right, there is a volume wheel, and I can't explain it, but it just feels very smooth and clean. The
Having a fantastic set of gaming peripherals is critical to getting the very best game. To ensure a fair test, Logitech sponsored this video and sent
a GL tactical brown switch with 50 grams of force, 1.5 of actuation distance, and 2.7 millimeters of total travel distance. Because there is very less space between the key and the plate, it may be uncomfortable at the beginning, but as soon as you got the hang out of it, it's great. And because of the real low switch, the RGB is right on the plate, which gives this keyboard a fancy gaming look that I love. Well, there is a bad thing about this keyboard, it's hella expensive. Again, with its $230 like the first one, it's one of the most expensive ones on the market. So let's be honest, is it worth it? And in my opinion, yes it is, but only if you really have enough money. I feel like there are a lot of cheaper keyboards that are good as well, so if you have enough money, buy it. If not, buy a cheaper one. To end this list, of course, the sound test. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, write me a comment for improvements or questions, I'll answer them all, and see you next time.